Hello and welcome to the MRO Show presented by Chadwell Supply. I'm your host, Adam Porter. Chadwell Supply is 100% dedicated to the multifamily industry. Your order is on our truck delivered the next day. Learn more at chadwellsupply.com. Today on the MRO Show, I have the distinct privilege of talking again to my friend Michael Stewart, market starter extraordinaire, a guy who everybody I talk to says this, Michael, and I've had a chance to experience it myself. You're somebody who really embodies what makes Chadwell Supply different in the MRO supply marketplace. So Michael, thank you so much and welcome to the MRO Show.
Well, thank you, Adam. Thank you for having me here.
You're a guy you have put a lot of heart and soul and windshield time into building up multifamily, helping properties, helping those folks out there that are keeping properties together, managing them, doing maintenance. What do you love about the multifamily industry, Michael?
You know, Adam, I love the multifamily industry. I got in this business back in 1995. I went to work for the Chadwells, previously at Chad Supply. I came from a small town out of Charlotte, North Carolina, just right outside of Charlotte, and it was the textile industries. At that time, they'd signed the NAFTA bill. All these jobs were going away. They were going overseas. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I said, I guess I want to drive a truck, So I ended up applying at Chad Supply. Steve Dixon hired me, and that's how I got into the business, and I just really fell in love with the multifamily. Never driving down the road, never paid attention to apartments, never, just, I guess they were there.
It's something in the background. You just drive past, right?
You just drive past it. You just don't think about it.
Yeah.
But now I'm always looking for apartments, but, people need a place to live, and it is a thriving business. Even in the downturn of the economy, people always need a place to live.
You want a safe, comfortable place to hang your hat, lay your head.
I don't like comfortable, but I do like the stability, but the comfort. I'm not much on comfort.
I'm just saying, most people, when they're looking for a place to stay, your guy likes to travel, you like to be out there. What are you looking for? What do you like to see, and what do you like to find in a place to hang your hat?
I like to go out and help people. And this gives me an opportunity when I go to new markets to get to meet people like myself that have not been in the industry, and then introduce them into multifamily, and then watch them kind of start from at the beginning, and then watch the rewards come, and watch them get up on stage. I get a lot out of that. I really, really do get a lot out of seeing people get in the industry, start out, and just the success stories. For me, it's gratifying.
There really is an incredible amount of opportunity. Not everybody intentionally comes into multifamily thinking, this is the thing I've always wanted to do. There's so much opportunity here.
There's a ton of opportunity. And when I see people, we've had a lot of drivers. I was a driver when I started out, just like I was telling you. And then I kind of found my way into sales. And you look at it and go, it's not hard. You just got to apply yourself. You've got to want to do something. Anything in life that we want, we can have. You just have to want it bad enough, and then you can get it. You can accomplish it. But you know what? I've seen people that were sales professionals. They didn't make it. So not everybody makes it. So it's not like a guarantee. You still have to apply yourself. You still have to work hard. You still have to be involved in what you're doing. You just can't let it run itself.
You have a skill set, Michael, that a lot of other folks, I think, would envy. Maybe they look to you for inspiration. You can go into a market, a newer market, and open that market up, warm that market up, create a foothold in this case, for Chadwell Supply, in a market where folks maybe don't know about the company, don't know why they should choose Chadwell Supply. What is it about how you do or what you do, or even how you do what you do, that makes it different?
I don't know that it's any different. It's just going in. I like to go in and identify the opportunities, management companies. And let me say this. I don't do it by myself. So, Denver, I just got done doing the due diligence on Denver, kind of looking at it. The company has done a tremendous job. All the TSMs, national account managers, have set this up for us, where we have opportunity day one in Denver. That doesn't happen by accident. So I talked to the guys in Denver in our breakout meetings, and I was telling the guys, I said, look, it's our time to pay it back. So we need to go in here, tackle this market, and then we need to get in with some management companies so we'll be stronger back east and in the Midwest. So it's our time to pay it back. They've set this thing up for us. So, we are at the one conference. That's what one means. We're all doing it as one. It's
one
not
team working together.
It's not
sure.
one person. It's one team working together.
And since we are recording this at the one conference, and then when we were talking about yesterday, we ran into each other here at the conference. Michael, you said, as soon as we're done here, you can hop in your truck and you're heading out to Denver.
Yep, that's correct. I came to this conference and I said, this is going to be somewhat relaxing. I said, it's going to be relaxing. And I said, this is going to be time. My phone doesn't ring. I'm transitioning out of a new territory, and I'm going to a new area. And I said, I'll be able to at least enjoy. The phone won't be ringing. People won't be looking for things. But and I should have known better. I found myself just antsy. I'm just I'm just wound up inside. I got the butterflies going in my stomach, and it's exciting. It's like, I'm big into fitness, so it's like running a marathon. I've done all the prep's done. It's time for the race, and now you just want to see what the result's going to be.
That's exciting when people are looking for you and you're going to get a chance to show up. That puts a smile on my face. How does that make you feel, Mike?
It just, like I said, it's rewarding just to kind of go in, see something, start at zero, and then just kind of see this thing take off, see the team come together. It's even more rewarding to just go back 4 or 5 years later, look at it, and just see what it's become. And I always tell people, I said, I'm transferring. I'm going to a new territory. You're leaving? Yeah, you know what? This is a good thing because now you guys can really grow. That's when the growth starts. When I leave, it just really just blossoms. I went back for the holiday party to Nashville this year. I used to work in Nashville in 2012, and it was myself and another person, and we started that branch up. We didn't even have a working restroom inside. We had a porta-john outside outside, so it was very
bare bones.
So and you go back and you see everything, and you see you see the team over there, and just a great bunch of guys, and this thing is just it's just like fire, and I love seeing that. I just love seeing that.
You've had a chance to travel all over the country, open up new markets, several different areas, several different regions. What are some of the common questions you tend to hear when you go in and initially begin in a relationship with a potential customer?
You get a lot of them. How quick do you guys deliver? Are you competitive on price? And I typically, when I go in, I go in unassuming. I always go in and ask to speak with the person who does the purchasing on the maintenance supplies. I never assume it's the maintenance supervisor. I never assume it's the manager. I want to build a relationship with both. And then, the maintenance supervisor will ask some of the same questions, but you'll have the manager sometimes that'll ask about invoicing and what that looks like. And if they're on a third-party platform, are we a member? Are we part of that platform? And it's the basic questions. And once you assure them, hey, your stuff will be here tomorrow, we will get it to you, and we are competitively priced. We do our homework on this stuff. Like I said, just getting that first order, getting that first chance, it's like breaking an old habit and starting a new habit.
I like that. Breaking an old habit, starting a new habit. And you mentioned too also getting to know the property manager and the maintenance supervisor. You talked about talking to them and finding out what they need and what they're looking for. That seems pretty simple, Michael.
it's very important to have a relationship with both. Sometimes the manager, sometimes the office staff, they don't want that relationship. They just want to push it to the maintenance. Hey, I'm fine with that too, but I'm going to always try to have that relationship with both. It's just like in anything, the more people you know, the better chances you're going to have of putting your name out there, putting the brand out there, building what we're building. It's just part of building the Chadwell Supply name.
Meet people where they are and meet the needs that they have first.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that you said, and I love the way you put it, is we were talking earlier before the camera started rolling earlier in the day. Might have even been yesterday. I think it might have been yesterday. You had said something about the difference between getting an order and serving a customer.
Yeah, I think I was more alluding to, I've been in this business 31 years now. I've been to a lot of conferences back in the Chad Supply days, and then we were Hughes for a while, and then I've been to some of our competitors. We'll just say some of our larger competitor conferences. This conference is just so much different than the company is so much different than what you see at other. People will just tell you at the conference, "Hey, we need to sell more. We need to get in. We need to penetrate the account. We need to do this," but there's nothing behind it. But you can just see the leadership here, and it's all about serving the customer. We had the gentleman yesterday, John, I believe his name was.
John Harmeling.
From Chick-fil-A. Yeah. And, he said about the conference, he said, I think the Chadwells probably look at this not as an expense, but as an investment.
Yes.
And I believe the company, the Chadwells treat the customers like an investment and not an expense, where I think we do have competitors that probably, because they are publicly owned, they have to treat it as an expense. Everything's about expenses. But I think we treat it as an investment, and then organically it's just, we bear the fruit.
It really is all about the perspective and the priorities that you have when you're getting going.
It means a lot, especially starting up a new market. It means a lot to a TSM to know that they've got the support of leadership to take care of the customers. When you're on the front line, you want to know that, hey, I've got support. I've got a company that cares about the customer, and things aren't always going to be perfect. Things aren't always going to go right, but I've got support. I don't have to really worry about it. I've got support to help me out if something happens.
If you are one of those, let's kind of think about what it was like to be brand new, Michael. If you're somebody out there right now, because we hire new people all the time. There's always new people starting in the industry. As a sales associate in multifamily, what's something that they can do right now that's going to make a difference in their career and help them be successful?
First of all, plan. You have to plan. You have to get a route. You have to plan your day. You need to be responsive. You need to return phone calls. You don't have to have a lot of product knowledge. That comes with time. I've known many reps. I still know many reps that I've talked to them this week that started day one and didn't know anything about the product. And we've got guys that they're doing very well. I mean, they're doing great. I would tell anybody, and I told the guy, I actually said this yesterday to one of the gentlemen in our breakout meeting. I said, look, I said, and I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not bringing any fluff here. I said, this is absolutely the greatest opportunity of your life, as far as from a business standpoint, from a livelihood standpoint. They said this is the greatest opportunity of your life, and I truly believe that, or I wouldn't say it. It's what it's meant to me, and it helps being with the right company. It's just, I just can't put it into words.
Let's try. I want to put you on the spot a little bit, Michael. What is one of the things that has made this such a great opportunity for you?
Yes, I've worked hard and everything, but working for this company, working for the Chadwells, you do feel like it's family. They treat you like family.
That's true.
It's like, they're not behind the scenes. They're out front. They're making decisions and they're doing things to, move the company forward. they're just down to earth. It's good people. It's good family. Everybody here. I mean, it's. And a lot of people go, hey, he's just saying that. He's just, and it's like, no, it's not.
It's not. It's completely true.
There's no curtain. I'm not going to jerk the curtain back and show you something else. This is what it is. And I try to tell people that. I have customers. I tell my customers the same thing. And they go, how long have you been with the company? I go, been here 16 years. They go, oh, that's a long time. I said, yeah, I'll probably retire, die, or whatever it is. I said, I'm not leaving. I said, I'm not, I don't take phone calls from anybody else. I said, this is what I do.
It's so interesting. I'm in a totally different job for the same company and had a very similar experience. Our marketing team has grown a lot. As the company has grown, the marketing team's grown. So I've helped and sat in and helped conduct a lot of interviews for a lot of our new team members over the almost 3 years I've been here. And I tell them all the time, the day I walked into the building was the first time I'd already been hired. I did Zoom interviews for my interviews, so I didn't do anything in person. I hadn't been to the building before. It just felt different. There was a different atmosphere. The way that I was greeted, I felt different 5 steps into the building. And then it almost immediately felt like home. And that sounds like it sounds like such a sales pitch. It sounds like just such marketing fluff, but it really is true. And I've had that conversation with everybody we've interviewed, and folks have come on and joined the team. A lot of them have had that same experience.
Yeah, coming as a driver, I had a little bit different experience. I just, in my wildest dreams, would never imagine that I would be doing what I'm doing. If I had a crystal ball, or if you told me, hey, this is what it's going to be, I would have never imagined that it turns into this. And for the record, I could get a couple questions, so I just want to do a little housekeeping if I could.
Sure.
So everybody will ask, so do you like doing what you're doing? And let me just say, nobody makes me travel. Nobody makes me do this. Matter of fact, I don't even really consider it traveling. Mm-hmm. When I leave the wife back in North Carolina, I just say, hey, I got to go home. Time to go home. So I'm going home to where my home is. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them will go, so when are you going to settle down? I don't know. I don't plan on it. There's no plans for that. As soon as I ask myself that, then maybe I will. There's no plans for that. So
you're doing something you love. You're successful at it.
I love it. And I talked to some vendors yesterday, and they see the name tag, and a lot of people ask, what do you do? And I'm like, man, it's very complicated. And then I'll tell them, and they go, never heard of that. That sounds pretty neat. It's the greatest. I'm going to say it's the greatest. We'll call it a gig. I don't call it a job. Maybe a job is something you go to and you don't like, or you regret.
You struggle with. You struggle with. Peace with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would. I'm going to go back to something you asked me about. For a new hire, new employee. Something that has really hit me probably in the last, and I had this conversation with David probably over a year ago, but something probably in the last 15, 16 months. The word is gratitude. And, people a lot of times will go, hey, you need to go out there and just have fun, just be yourself, have fun. And I think it's a maturity thing. You have to be, I don't know, it just comes with age. But once you really appreciate the opportunity, once you really appreciate that you have the ability. There's a lot of people that would love to do this job, but they don't have the ability physically, mentally. They just don't have the ability. But once you say, hey, I've been given this gift, I can do this. You just got to be grateful for it. I'm kind of a crazy fiend where I get up and work out early in the morning. People go, why do you do it? Because I can. I appreciate that I have the ability to do this. I've seen people, and we've talked about our dads, and I watched my dad sit there. My dad taught me, he gave me the work ethic. And, I watched him, die of cancer. He would have done anything to be able to get up out of that chair and go to work.
Yeah.
And I still have the ability to do that, and I need to be grateful for that, and I need to be grateful for the opportunity that I've got. So that's when you really have fun, is when you really appreciate the opportunity that you've got. I just, I just, like I said, it's awesome feeling. It really, really is an awesome feeling.
And so I think what you said about gratitude really lands. Whatever it is you're going to do, find your joy in it, find a reason to be grateful for it, and get out there and give it your best. I really love that, Michael. That's a great encouragement for everybody out here listening, whatever it is they're doing. When you are surrounded by a bunch of people that genuinely care about you, it's still hard, but it's a little easier.
It's a little easier. Man, I lost my dad, but I've been blessed this year with a granddaughter.
Oh, that's the best.
So
grandkids are the best, Michael.
Man, I had no idea. No idea. Yeah. I always, my wife wanted one, and she's like, you can't tell your daughter-in-law and your son, hey, I kind of, you just,
right.
They just,
right.
Everybody, we had Jamie Young. We had probably no business, but glad we did. Don't never, like I said, always love it. But
sure.
But yeah, having a grandbaby, oh gosh.
I love what you said though, and I'd kind of like to, as we're closing here, go back to that and ask really the folks that are listening to this or watching this podcast, what do you have that you're grateful for today? What's something in your life that you can say, thanks for that. It's something I can grab hold of that's going well, or some opportunity that you have to do a little bit better, to reach a little bit further. Some reason maybe to look past the hard stuff and grab hold of something that makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's there for everybody, not just for certain people. Again, I came out of a little small town. I worked in a textile mill. The economy fell. The whole NAFTA thing, and then I had to be forced out and go find something. And I never could have imagined that I would have been blessed with an opportunity like this. So I'm very grateful for that. And I think you take it for granted sometimes, and just go, I'm working hard. I've earned it.
I deserve it.
I
right?
deserve it.
Yeah,
but you really don't. You like I said, you get opportunities and you work hard and you earn it, but you don't deserve any. You don't deserve all the. We don't deserve all the blessings we get. I mean, but by the grace of God, we get them.
Appreciate them, but don't get complacent.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Michael, thanks so much.
Appreciate you, Adam. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for listening to this episode of the MRO Show presented by Chadwell Supply. If you were inspired by Michael like I was in this conversation, please take a minute to rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast service. And for more MRO Show, check out chadwellsupply.com/podcast.